What is up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news out there. I am trying to be happy as we talk about a very serious story for our first one out there. That all around a rising Brazilian player and talent out there, according to many sources, Fallen being one of them. Other Brazilian pros have given mention to this name, that being VSM, who was actually caught back when he was just 13 years old, given a VAC ban, and ever since with that VAC ban, a lifetime ban by Valve. As many of us know, when you're actually given a VAC ban, that definitely does mean a definite lifetime ban. But we've had several cases now of young rising pro players who, when they were younger, had actually been caught cheating, and now they are serving the repercussions of actually being caught. If I'm being honest and truthful with all of you guys, I do not think this story would have garnered much traction out there unless HLTV had covered it with an article last night, but I will give it a go myself because it's always been a topic of interest of me, as well as we've had several cases out there I'll discuss very shortly of pro players who have been caught in their younger years, anywhere from, I guess you could say, 12 to 18 years old, and it makes you really want to ask the question, is there an age out there where if you get a VAC ban, you should be forgiven, and will Valve do so? In terms of this case with VSM, I can almost guarantee you guys no, he will not be shown mercy, and he will not be gifted out of this lifetime ban. And I say this with such confidence because we have talked about this on this channel countless times. The overall question for you guys to leave a comment down below: do you think there should be an age limit to these VAC bans? Can you cheat before a specific age out there and then be forgiven in a pro sport or pro esport like CSGO and eventually be allowed to participate in major events out there? And if you think there is an age, what age do you think that is? Because we've had stories actually very recently as well, thanks to my friend TGC, because I had forgot the name of this character out there, belonging to no pro team, but actually was a part of FPL, or FACEIT at least, that being a player known as Bro, who was then actually further banned from FACEIT servers because of a VAC ban he had received when he was 12 years old. He has also been given a lifetime ban because of that VAC ban from Valve, so he will, even if he rises to the ranks and actually plays on a pro team out there, he will unfortunately face the same circumstances as we do with VSM, currently playing for a Brazilian team known as Daytona. He will never compete at major events, even though both these culprits right now, they committed these so-said crimes of our esports CSGO when they were 12 and 13. If I could tell you guys the things I was doing when I was 12 or 13, they were dumb. But then we have the long laundry list of VAC bans out there, right? SF, Emilio, Dreamer even, Kukli. I always mispronounce his name, and you guys get on me in the comments. Guys, for the last time, Kukli has replied to my tweet and said that we can say Kukli, okay? I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, oh, it's but either way, they made their variety of mistakes out there for a variety of reasons at a variety of ages and times out there. They will never be forgiven and never compete at major events as well. Then we have, of course, the iconic instance of Swag. He was 17 years old when he match fixed and gave into team peer pressure out there at the age of 17 for a few $100s, and even him for that odd reason as well, match fixing completely separate from VAC bans and of course ESL bans, third-party service bans as well. He even has not been forgiven along with the rest of the iBuyPower roster, and it does really show you as well why I'm so confident that VSM will not be shown mercy and why he will not be forgiven out of this lifetime VAC ban from Valve events out there, is because Valve has never shown mercy unless, one thing, you're actually caught by a third-party service. Because these are things that people often forget about. We even had Cuban, right? He was caught a while ago. Snax back in 2011. Simple. The #1 player in the world was caught on a third-party service software/program back in 2014 for cheating, and even had ban evasion as well after that, but they were all forgiven in the eyes of Valve because it was not their system which caught those players, which in many eyes, to some, I guess not many eyes, some people out there think it's a bit unfair, although when you have an official program that catches and definitely identifies cheaters to a very, very high degree, unfortunately for players like Robin, who were falsely VAC banned, and then, what was it, 4.5 years later, finally unbanned by Valve. You have those very, very, very rare cases out there, but when you have VAC ban, which when they do catch someone, they are most certainly a cheater, yes, you're going to use that as your definitive program to mark players who cannot play in your own Valve events. It does make sense to a certain degree, but it continues to drive the question out there, is there an age where Valve will forgive these pro players? And I just don't think they can, because then you begin to set a precedence out there. If you forgive VSM back when he was 13, then you have to forgive players like Bro back when they were 12, and still it really does suck overall. The overall thing about this, I guess questions to all of you guys out there, do you think VSM will be unbanned? Do you think he should be unbanned? I am of the more lenient. I think I'm a pretty forgiving guy out there. Yes, if you are 12 or 13 years old, I fully agree, you probably have no clue you're going to be a pro CSGO player. None of us, we dream to be construction workers and superheroes and CEOs or whatever it was when you were 12 or 13 years old. I never thought I would be a professional gamer, and yeah, that's simply why I did cheat when I was younger. I've told you you guys about this. I cheated in RuneScape. I never thought I'd be a pro RuneScape player, and if I had been, well, we wouldn't be here. But it's very easy to see both sides of the argument out there. Valve cannot show leniency because if they do in one case, they must actually establish a clear-cut rule for all cases out there, and then you have a bunch of kids out there who think it's okay to cheat in CSGO up until they're 12, up until they're 13, because once they break that age, they say, oh, if I cheat now, I can't be a pro player. But before that, it's completely fine. They establish a precedence which people will take advantage of, and then you can try and stretch that precedence to, whoa, if he's 14 years old and he cheated and we had to ban him, what about Swag? He was still 17, still not even a full-fledged adult yet. Why can't we unban him as well? And so I understand it to a certain degree, but I also understand it is super sad to see pro players now on the rise, you know, in FACEIT, on a team like Daytona, a player out there who has seen interest. Other teams have seen interest in this, like Team 1 has actually had interest in this player VSM, but they're now kind of waning away because he can't play at major events, all due to a crime he committed in this esport we play when he was 13 years old. I just feel very bad. Leave your thoughts down below about that. But there were other happier stories out there, which includes Neil Murphy. If you guys don't know, a coach in the scene, as well as kind of has worked in management for CSGO teams out there. Why I keep cracking up is because Neil decided to post a video late last night to Twitter. It makes a lot more sense though when I tell you guys this. He will be the new stand-in / trial coach for the one and only Grayhound Gaming, and it makes so much sense that Neil plus Big Dick Stacy, they are going to be a dangerous duo after you watch this video.
Thank you to all the geeks that tuned in, but I forgot one thing before I turned off my stream. Make sure you sucky Simpson while you jerk my Timson. Everyone have a good evening. Peace out, UK. And
I have no idea why I'm mentioning this next story. Going to be very short as well. I kind of just finally identified this. I think it's actually beneficial for quite some time, but just wanted to point out all the former OpTic India players of that notorious scandal / cheating situation, which I'm sure many of you guys are aware of. They have now found brand new teams, organizations, and homes for them. I just wanted to announce that. I'm very happy for the guys. I think it's beneficial for quite some time now. I think 1 or 2 of the players was also signed nearly right away after the incidents did happen, and now even their coach, their former coach and player YB, has also been signed. So all those guys hopefully moving on from that notorious scandal. And then we go back to the bad news out there. It was almost expected. It's been a slow kind of downfall for these ex-Space Soldiers roster, which does seem to this point to be pretty much depleted. If you guys did not hear a few months ago, it was the first one to leave. Their backbone, their longest standing player, Xantares, he went to Big Clan. Shortly after that, actually very shortly ago, it was actually Major. He joined the new LDLC roster. Now we actually have Calyx just last night announcing his free agency, and on top of that, Yam. We did know Yam was going to be a part-time player for them anyway. It seems the entire roster, though, was going to be part-time at this final announcement. Yam has also parted ways. Calyx announced his free agency, and it seems the entire roster is set to go new ways besides Paz and Engine. Very, very sad story to see, and I really do think it's going to be a very long time until we see a Turkish team rise to the level that the former Space Soldiers was as a united single Turkish team. It was pretty crazy, and a lot of props to those guys. It's very sad to see these guys now pretty much all going their own individual ways. Coffee? And very lastly, thanks to our Chinese source Flora. I love this woman so much. She reached out to me many months ago, and now we actually get to use her every now and again for a shout out. Thank you, Flora. And if you guys do not know Flora, she's also in love with my friend Brian on Twitter. Like, it's the cutest thing ever. But thank you to her for a source. Late last night, she did announce as well, ViCi Gaming, of all teams out there, to be making changes. Yes, post a stellar major run at that, especially for a team like ViCi, who is not expected to make it near as far, upsetting several teams out there as well, will now lead to roster changes. According to Flora last night, now confirmed by HLTV this morning, it will be Freeman to leave that roster. One of their newest acquisitions, actually from formerly and now deceased the organization known as Flash Gaming. He came alongside Zoking, and they were big announcements. They were one of probably the 2 best players from Flash Gaming to join this new roster. I'm not sure where this move is going. I'll talk to Flora hopefully more in the future about this, but ViCi will be making roster changes after a stellar major run, and it will be Freeman, one of the most recent acquirements of this roster, to be leaving the team altogether. So that's pretty shocking news out there in the Chinese scene. But as always, I hope you guys all enjoy. My name is Jake. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow with more CSGO news. Thank you for all enjoying other videos on the channel so far. I've really been enjoying breaking down other esports news, and especially some great CSGO videos. The other day, I will link it down below for those of you guys who didn't get the chance to watch it. I uploaded my longest video ever on CSGO. It was actually the top 10 teams who have fallen the furthest in their times in CSGO. I thought it was a great video, so I'll link it down below for all of you guys who want to watch it. But as always, hope you guys all enjoy. I will see you back here tomorrow, and until then, take care. Coffee? Someone say coffee?